Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're all having a lovely day. Today is the day that the post office will be picking up my lobbying check. The first lobbying check that I've written so far. And the plan, and I just wanted to say again, I know I'm probably going to sound like a broken record at this point, but thank you very much to all of you, the viewers, for making that possible. I'm very excited. I'm going to be very happy when I see the postwoman pick up the 501c4's first written lobbying check, and there's going to be many more to go. You are all responsible for the new era that we're going to be ushering in, where right to repair is no longer considered a joke. And I am incredibly grateful and thankful, humbled and honored by all of you to be a part of making that happen. So, yeah, I'm very happy with this. Very, very happy. We'll see how things go. I didn't raise enough to do a ballot initiative, but I did raise enough to be able to raise some hell in at least in many states. And hell raise we shall. I've noticed so far that there really does not much of a price to performance link between lobbyists that know what they're doing and lobbyists that don't know what they're doing. Like there was one that I spoke to that was in the $3K a month range. They knew their shit. They knew all the people, the arguments, like how to connect to everybody. And there was one that actually got wrong which politicians were for and against it that wanted something around $20K a month. So they really, I think a lot of them kind of, they rely on name or brand recognition or referrals from a long time ago, and then they kind of get out of the game, kind of like with any industry. I find it's really easy for some people to just kind of rest on their laurels and not particularly offer a great value once their reputation gets to a certain point. And I need to make sure that I know how to weed that out. I got some help so far, which has been helpful. I got some people to help me with that have a bit more experience in this regard when it comes to pushing issues forward, and has had results in public policy engagement before. Hasn't had as much results when it comes to fundraising, but so we kind of working together. I also hope that to be able to make a trip to Massachusetts, probably sometime in September or October. I'd like to meet all the repair shops there. I want to do a lobby day in November, because one of the things that helped with the automotive bill, it wasn't even really so much just a ballot initiative, but even if it didn't go to the ballot, it had a good chance of winning, because they had every single mechanic and automotive shop in the state show up one day to speak to their local legislators. So it's like, wow, this is a real issue people care about. And then when it comes to repair shops, you have like one or two show up. And they haven't had a lot of luck with getting all the repair shops in the state to show up in that state in terms of getting the bill moved forward. And there's one person that's kind of been slow walking it for a while, and I want to light a fire under his ass. Get the idea that you either give us a yes or a no on this, or you get voted out kind of thing. And I would like to arrange a bunch of repair shops coming. So I think I may actually wind up doing a tour of the state of Massachusetts. Show up, say hi, get dinner, do a meetup or something, meet a bunch of different repair shops and see how things go. And see if I can organize a bunch of people to show up for. It would be really cool if we get like 100 people to just come to the Boston State House on that day in November. Because it would really send the message that you're not ignoring this issue anymore. That left. Hello, NYPD. All right, we got to pedal. That's actual outdoor dining to my left. Impressive. What is this beast? Look at all the traffic here. Like, this is painful. When people would often ask me in my old streams, when are you going to grow up and get a car? When are you going to be responsible and get a car? Why don't you get a car? Like, I have a car. I have a driver's license. I don't rather get kicked in the balls repeatedly than drive a car through this neighborhood. See, like, look at this. Look at this. Like, it's horrible. You're just sitting going 1 mile an hour most of the day. It's too big. Having a car is unwieldy. Like, there's no need to have a tank to move through this residential neighborhood. And it's also just more difficult to get where you're going. It's so much slower. Okay, it's red for him. Zoink. Hey. This is the downtown Brooklyn area. Bit more businessy area of Brooklyn, like large businessy district. Nothing there. Poke my head out. Yoink. 1-800-DIVORCE. I have a horn too. Should I honk it? It's a nice yellow Mustang to my right. Yeah, it's a fancy looking building up there at my 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock and look up, it's kind of fancy looking. I don't spend much time in this area of Brooklyn. Like, you have upscale business buildings and upscale condos. I always figured if I was gonna pay the money, or like to be in a more hoity-toity area, that it might as well be Manhattan, because if someone's in the Bronx, Queens, or New Jersey, they're more easily able to get to you. So if you're gonna have a high rent, you might as well have a high rent in an area that's more equally accessible from people all throughout the New York City metropolitan area. So I never understood the appeal of downtown Brooklyn, because it seems to be similarly priced to much of Manhattan, and depending on the area, sometimes it'll actually have a premium to areas like the East Village, or areas like, or let's say deals like where I am right now. So it never particularly made sense to me to pay and it is a premium. Like, that dead real estate over there is not going for 30 or 40 bucks a square foot, I bet you that much. So right over there, see where it says retail, restaurant, fitness available? That's not gonna be 40 bucks a square foot. That's gonna be some expensive ass BS. Huh? Self-built. Bafang BBS HD. Yeah, thank you. He was Myron. I could smell him Myron. All right. Green. Tip, if you're gonna use the bike the wrong way down a one-way street, that's typically best done at night, not during the daytime. At nighttime, you can kind of get away with it because of the decreased traffic, but if you motorized bike the wrong way down a one-way street is particularly dangerous during the day. If you're going to do it at night as well, you should do it with good lighting, and obviously, hopefully you can see well. But at night, there's less people around, so you could kind of get away with it. I guess at least during COVID. But post-COVID, actually, yeah, it's probably not even a good thing to suggest post-COVID because of the amount of people that are out now. But during COVID, you could get away with that during the day. But now, no chance. Damn, Petland Discounts can't even afford the rent anymore. Petland Discounts, retail space for lease. And right next to it is also resale space for lease. I'm going to take a wild guess that my assertion that real estate is still a ripoff in downtown Brooklyn, similar to how it is in Midtown Manhattan and the East Village and the West Village, is most likely correct. Okay, we stop for a second and we go. I'm going to take a wild guess that it's still crazy here. I usually take this path home. I don't take this path to work typically. I don't know what my bias is for Manhattan Bridge home, Williamsburg Bridge to work. It's not really scientific or mapped out or anything. It's just for some reason a preference. Okay. A grandma with blue hair. Now I've seen everything. Now I've seen it all. Yeah, you got New York City College of Technology at my 10 o'clock on the left. Ay, ay, ay. All right, we're close to the Manhattan Bridge. I prefer this to the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge is tourist hell. There's this one guy that tries to do a wheelie for the entirety of the Brooklyn Bridge. I can't do a wheelie at all. I do a wheelie, that'll be instant concussion. But he tries to keep up a wheelie throughout the entire bridge, and he's yelling, bike lane, to everybody, and they're all ignoring him. You can't change gears on this while you have the throttle going, or you will absolutely destroy your cassette, your chain, and your motor. So what I usually do is the moment that I let off the throttle a little bit, while the chain ring is still turning, I'll switch my gear. And then once I've heard the confirmation that I've changed my gear, then I will let back on the throttle. It does take a lot more work to ride geared versus, let's say, having a single geared hub. You know, it does take more work having as many, multiple gears. Hey, thank you. It's good meeting you. What's your name? What's your name? Oh, she should probably drive. That guy just held up traffic to say hi. I feel bad. I contributed to that. Oh man, this is crazy. I get recognized so much now. It's so weird. Like, I will never forget starting off and doing this stuff, working at a recording studio, being the technical oriented guy, working on the Studer 800, the Neve 8088, or the other crap, or when I worked in a rehearsal studio, just working on the small stuff that didn't work in the rooms. And everybody there at both studios, everybody wanted to be famous. All of them wanted to be famous. And they're doing everything. They worked so hard. They did everything that they could to have people recognize them, to show up at venues. They played places for exposure. I didn't want any of that shit. I didn't like anybody. I didn't get along with anybody. I wanted to keep to myself, sit in the corner of the room, work on, solder stuff and be done. So it's just so freaking weird that I look back on it and all those people, the fact that I'm the one that wound up famous, it's so freaking ridiculous. It's just beyond belief. Ridiculous. Okay, so. Lovely bridge we got here. I really do gotta ask Paul why Gear 1 does that. It's rubbing against my chain guard. I gotta move my chain guard a little out of the way. I don't use Gear 1 much because it has a top speed of I think 13 or 14 miles an hour, but it comes in handy when I need to rev from a complete stop, given that this is, that I'm not exactly putting 10 or 20,000 watts through this motor. When you have when you have like a max, absolute max that you could put into the motor before it destroys itself of like 50 or 55 amps, you really do have to be careful and also gear and be very, very cognizant of your gearing all the time so that you can keep up with other traffic. It's a skill, and I really do get why people like their manual cars. Like even if you have automatic transmission, it's kind of fun for your driving, or in my case, your e-bike riding, to kind of be like a video game. And the video game is, I have this limited amount of power, and I need to be able to keep up on the road with vehicles, and I need to do my gear switches at just the right time so that I make maximum use of the limited amount of power that I have without getting in, without falling behind or holding up traffic or anything like that. It's a game. I get it. It totally fucks with your muscle memory to use a motorcycle after this though. Like I have my gear shifters on the right, I have my brakes, which I always typically have my fingers on, and I have no clutch. I don't have to use a clutch because this is an electric motor. So to go to a bike where your rear brake is on your foot pedal, and the gear shifter is also, something you adjust with your foot, and the clutch is something you adjust with your hand, after getting really used to riding an electric bicycle, it destroys the muscle memory. It really does. It's very weird. Get off your phone, you prick, and stop blocking the lane. All right, let's see what we got here. I love how they put fences around here that are virtually the same width as my handlebar. Very safe. Very safe. Store your equipment there. Okay. Our politics are significantly different. That person needs to replace their disc brake pads. You could hear it smashing against the rotor. Either that or align it. I actually heard that. That pains me when I hear that. I get it, a lot of the delivery people, they have 12 to 14 hour days so that they can just barely pay their rent, so they don't really have time or money to do things like maintain their Arrow 7s. But it doesn't change the fact that when I hear that noise, it pains me deeply. Okay, let's see, where am I supposed to go here? I'm supposed to go here. Someone in my YouTube chat said to check out, not YouTube chat, the Discord chat said check out City Hall, and I said why, and they said just trust me. I'm likely going to regret this, but This is Chinatown, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Should be obvious from the signs. Let's see, where am I here? As you can see, it says red to walk, but we are in New York City, where nobody cares. Nobody cares. Oh, man. Da, 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 da. Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, da 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 da, Christmas tree, da 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 da, da 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 da, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree, da 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 da, oh, Christmas tree. Nobody in the way. Okay. Let's see why my troll audience wanted me to go to City Hall. What am I gonna see here? Okay, there's literally nobody here. So I go. Oh God, I hear a megaphone. Oh no. Oh no. I hear a megaphone. Oh, this should be good. Oh God.
And I've gotten in touch with some biotech executive level. And they started over a month ago.
Oh geez, what do we got here? Yes.
Oh my God.
Hi. Yeah, what the hell? I gotta.
Alright, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, what the hell? Let's, all right, let's see what's going on here. So this is what the trolls in my Discord were telling me to go visit. I locked up my bike. Jesus Christ. Medical choice is a human right. I agree there. Global illusion, global control. All right, that's getting a little weird.
Oh my God, that is cool. What is that?
Huh? Oh, it's a DJI action cam.
Oh,
Yeah. I agree with that sign up here. I like that sign. Okay.
I thought that he was much. Just show up. Make it so that I can't see the pavement.
Oh, I saw him like 30 minutes ago.
I can't see the
Cuomo and de Blasio have to resign. All right, I believe in that one. I approve of that sign. Okay, the Bill Gates stuff is getting a little weird for me. Bill Gates stuff is getting a little. Okay, we're getting a little into the weirder territory. How are you?
I'm your viewer actually on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
You do a great content. I love your content, technical or just in general about
Thank you
life.
so much.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
She used to do STEAM program in high school. You have a minute or you in a rush?
I'm just recording what's going on. What's up?
So she used to do a STEAM program. I don't know if you ever heard.
Never heard of it.
Basically, the high school kids, they use iron. What do you call that? The tool that you use to solder things.
Soldering iron.
Soldering iron. So she knows how to use all that stuff. Not only that, in high school, she's done with high school. What I'm trying to get to is there like a classes where she can sign up with you and
I'm going to be doing free workshops at the store. Just watch the videos because once I get back from Vegas, I have a thing to go to next week. I'm going to be doing free workshops. People can come by. They can practice soldering, practice all that.
Right. Let me show you what man, she likes what you're doing, and I'm an IT guy myself. I just don't have time.
Here's what I want to look at the other signs before my battery dies.
Oh,
so
okay.
Rossman Group, look for Rossman Group
I
on
know the
meetup.com.
website.
No, on meetup.com. I have workshops that I run for free where people can go by and use the soldering equipment, ask questions, fix stuff. Have her come to one of those. They're free.
The free. She
Yeah,
can come and-
it's free as long and I announce them on that website.
What about if she wants to stay longer and maybe is there some kind of?
We'll work something out. I haven't come up with it yet, but we'll work it out.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. And fuck de Blasio and Cuomo.
I agree, man.
Yes,
Fuck them.
fuck them too. Oh, it's kind of cool.
Please, no matter what, do not consent.
Let's see if my bike is still there. Let's see if my bike is still there. Do I still have a bicycle? I still have a bicycle. All right, cool. What else do we got here?
Boosters, childhood vaccines. There are over 200 vaccines in the pipeline coming down. They will all go on that vaccine passport. You will not be able to buy groceries because you are not up to date with your MMR. Okay? So please understand that this is much deeper than the COVID-19 shot. That's first. Second of all,
Nice sign.
you have unalienable rights. The Constitution is
Something, right?
Yeah, nice to meet you, sir. What's your name?
Right to repair, right?
What's your name?
My name is Steven.
Nice to meet you, sir.
I'm sub to you, bro. Rambo
Thank you.
Wet, mama. Rambo Wet.
All right.
What is it?
Luke Rossman. All right. Is that a cartoonist in Montana? This looks familiar.
I'm not sure where. He's pretty well known. I'm not sure where he's at.
Oh yeah, I remember. I've seen these before. Oh. Hey, nice to meet you. Okay, that's a cool hat. That's a kind of a crazy hat. I like it though. Okay then. This is the vehicle. Okay, we go back to work. That was interesting. Yeah, the no mandate thing I get. The whole like the Bill Gates and Fauci are trying to kill you all thing is kind of that shit goes a bit beyond where I can even fuck with. But hey, listen. I disagree with them on some things. I agree with them on some other things. I got vaccinated. Probably, I would imagine I'm among the minority in this particular audience that got vaccinated. Mildly minority in this audience that got vaccinated.
Are you live streaming right now?
No, just recording.
Oh, how are you?
Good.
Love your channel.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Liam.
Oh, nice to meet you,
Been
sir.
a long time. I
Oh,
grew up around the
very
corner
cool.
from you on First and 10.
Oh, thank you so much.
Come to check out the craziness.
Yeah. Someone in my Discord said you should go to City Hall through work today. And I'm like, why? And he said, just take the Brooklyn Bridge. Trust me. And I'm like, you mother.
It's a scene.
Yeah. It's not bad. Everybody's being nice.
So far, there's only a couple scuffles so far. It's mostly just people screaming in each other's faces.
Yeah. Well, it was good meeting you.
Good to meet you.
You have a good
All
day.
right, have a good one.
Okay. That was interesting. So you got to look at that, I guess. Last year there was a protest, one of the BLM protests that I walked through with my camera. So you kind of get an idea of what that one looked like, and I guess now you have an idea what this one looks like. I went down the same road last year. There should be a video on my channel when I did a bike ride down this road. And there was also one that was around, I believe, 6th Avenue, and it started somewhere around 6th or Canal Street or something like that. So I guess now you get a little bit more of a view of the city. I'm really surprised at how many people freaking recognize me now. That's just weird. I barely stayed that long. You have to consider that there was somebody speaking publicly and they were listening to them. So a lot of those individuals may not have actually had the opportunity to see anybody who was behind them. But the sheer number of people that recognize me, that's getting weirder and weirder and weirder. I'm not particularly used to that. I'm definitely not used to it. Still always strikes me as strange. I still think that de Blasio is going to win on the vaccine mandate thing. You saw the size of that crowd. Like there was, I mean, oh, they got 150 or 200 people there. They are very much so in the, sadly, in the political minority there when it comes to mandates and all of that. Like there's. I'm going to take 6th Avenue up. So this is Church Street. Church Street turns into 6th, I believe. I really should not have to say I believe. I should know that because I lived here for 32 freaking years. But I think Church turns into 6th. And I'm between 6th and 7th Avenue on 27th Street. So this is kind of the more fancy schmancy expensive area. But it's also less accessible by train than my store. So it costs more and it's less accessible. So I don't really give a shit about the prestige of being downtown near Church Avenue. I care about being near the train for my customers. As many trains as possible for my customers without a transfer. That's what I used to aim for. And also, admittedly, something that's actually affordable. Bro, one-way street. Vum. All right, there should be a. Yeah, the number of people that are against vaccine mandates, at the very least, people who are willing to go out and discuss it publicly, I mean, you could judge for yourself from that appearance there. I think you guys can judge. You know, I'll let you decide for yourself based on the imagery and video that I've provided you. But in my opinion, I would say that that is considerably the political minority. Or at the very least, a group of people who are willing to go out and hold a sign over it. You got some signs there I could feel, and some signs that just kind of seem to go beyond it. Like, I really don't see these as a poison shot. You're not going to convince me of that. There's no way. Are you staying in your lane, bus? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Okay. Okay, yeah, it's a good thing that I did not try to go past the bus because I'd be dead. I would be meat. Okay, so. Yeah, you're not going to convince me that the chance of something bad happening to you from the vaccine is even remotely close to anywhere near the chance of something bad happening to you from COVID. And again, the chances of something bad happening to me from COVID are pretty fucking low as is. So the chance, like, that's where, like, a lot of those people are probably going to be pissed at me. But I don't really care. Oh, well. Definitely like the fuck de Blasio and Cuomo signs. I enjoyed those. For reasons completely besides the vaccine, honestly. Did not have to get to a vaccine mandate for me to say fuck those two. I don't want to be near a bus. Don't trust you. Help break the cycle of violence, don't carry illegal weapons. In 2020, there were over 4,200 felony assault complaints involving knives in New York City. The NYPD encourages all New Yorkers to know the law regarding illegal mass weapons. Knives. Knives. I believe you're able to buy a knife in Kmart. Interesting. Wow. When you don't have access to a gun, you use a knife to hurt people. Man, it's almost like people who are violent are going to find a way to be violent no matter what you put in their hands, huh? Yeah, it's crazy how that works. Crazy how that works. All right. Okay. Whoa. Okay, never mind. He's turning. I can't go in between that because that mongoose is going to hit me. That would have been a good opportunity to get ahead over there. Ah, well. What are you going to do? Such is life, isn't it? This sounds like a fucking clown horn. I need to get a real horn. This is BS. I sound like fucking Krusty the Clown every time I put that thing on. Where you going? Hey, you going into this lane in front of me, are you? Are you? Come on. You look like you wanna. Come on. Okay. Now I can speed up. I could tell before the turn signal on that he wanted to do that. It's like a spidey sense. I sense it. It's important that I have that spidey sense. My life depends on it often. Every biker in New York City eventually gets that spidey sense. I will honk to advocate for my existence. Do not. Suspension seat did its job right there. Thinking of getting myself some bigger mirrors. These mirrors are fine, but I think would be a little bit more luxurious, and I'd be happy to deal with the minor loss in efficiency to have some bigger mirrors. I have enough speed. I don't think I'm going to lose much aerodynamicness from having a slight upgrade in the mirror size. It would be very helpful. What you doing? No, stay in that lane, bro. Okay, good. I'll stay. There we go. I always think that that thing that's on my right, that's the WB Mason thing, is the circus and not just some random manufacturing company. No. Red light, red light. Let's see, what's motor temperature here? Motor temperature is 54.9 Celsius. Well, that's not the end of the world. That's not the end of the world now, is it? It's cooling off quickly. 53.7, 53.6, 53.4. But the moment that I go to accelerate from a complete stop, it will change. And there we go. If you dump too much energy into it, it'll actually keep going up after you stop, because then it no longer has the wind to cool it down. So usually what I do is I keep riding it, or I'll try to make for a little bit without the motor on, just that it gets the wind to cool it off a little bit before I let it sit. All right, 1 block from work, 1 block from work. 27th Street. You can see every parking space is almost just about taken by all the commercial vehicles, except for these, actually. Yeah, I spoke too soon. There's some stuff on this side of the block. And it's actually kind of empty on this side. Wow. Wow. It's odd. Yeah. When are we going to get a bike entrance?
Yes.
All right.